In the previous videos, what we did was we displayed the list of users, right? So now in these videos, we're gonna edit the information of the user. So if we go to the browser, we have the list of users, right? Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna need a button that, and when we press the button, it should redirect us to our users edit form, right? So let's quickly create a new button. And here it will say here edit, right? Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a form up here, and I'm gonna give the URL as user slash and ID, right? Now when we click on this edit button, it will redirect us to this URL. So let's go to this browser and let me click on this refresh. If I click on this edit button, it will give us ID1. The ID here is dynamic, right? So now if we click on edit of the second user, it will give us the ID2. Now we need to have a route for this URL, right? So let's go to this web.php file and just create a route for the edit. I'm gonna have user slash. Since the ID is dynamic for the edit, I'm gonna enclose the ID with these curly braces. And let's just say, all right, it's good. Or let's just say edit, and let me have edit in the URL itself. All right. And then I'm gonna name the function as edit. Let me go to this user controller and let me go to our edit function. And since we are passing ID to our edit function, I can access the ID by having it in the parameter of the function. Now, with the help of ID, we can actually find the user. Since we are sourcing in the user's table, I'm gonna do find ID. What this does is it actually searches for the ID in the user's table and return the user, and the user gets stored in this user variable, right? So let me just return the user. Now let me refresh this page, and if I click on this edit, it will give us the user information with ID1, right? Now if I click on this second edit, it will give us the user information with ID2. All right, so this looks good. Now, what we need is when we click on this edit, we need to have a form that displays the user information, and then we can submit the form with the edited values, right? So for that, let's quickly create a new form that says I just created this file inside this users folder, and since the edit is kind of similar to create, I'm gonna copy and paste the form from create so that I don't need this password, and we also need to display the value of the user. So let's just display the value of name and email, right? All right, let's just test it for now. In this user controller, we have written the user, right? So instead of user, we're gonna return the view. and we're gonna pass the user information with the help of associative array. And let me refresh this page again. Now we can see the form for the submission, right? All right. Now, since this is an update function, I'm gonna have a method put, and also we're gonna need the ID of the user. All right. Now let's go to this web.php file and create a route for that. Route put slash users slash, since the ID would be dynamic, it's gonna be enclosed with the curly braces, and oops, I'm gonna name this function as update, right? So let me go to this user controller and I'm gonna create a new function that says update. I'm gonna get the information of user. And also I need the values of the request, right? I'm going to access the email with the request email, and I'm going to have name with request name. Now I'm going to set the email of user with the new email that we get from the request, and we're going to set the name of the user with the name that we get from the request, right? And then we're going to save the user. Oops, yeah. And let me just direct. Let me just do something like dd did it, right? Now let's go to this browser, and if I edit this page, instead of dude, I'm gonna write new name, right? And let me hit the submit button, and it says updated. Let's check in our database for that. Now we can see the name of the user is new name, right? If I go and visit the list of users page, now the name is new name, right? We can also edit email, for example, dude, whatever. And if I click on submit, it says updated, right? Now if I go to this user page, now it says dude, whatever. Now it gets updated in the database. Now if I refresh this page, it says dude, whatever, right? So this is how the update of the database table works in the Laravel.